What's up, Singapore? This evening, we're meeting an extraordinary lady who, despite her limitations in life, managed to set up not one, but two ground-up movements. I really admire her energy and her tenacity. You know what? I don't even have the energy and the strength to pick myself up from the ground to go to the gym. And here we are at her doorstep. And what is this? Yes, things will work out. Wait, is that a bag of chips? There goes my diet plan. And with a mouthful of chips, we're finally meeting the lady herself.
Hi, I'm Sherry, founder of BeKindSG and Autoimmune Diseases SG. I started Autoimmune Diseases SG in 2013 and BeKindSG in 2017, and before that I was a special needs educator. Well, personally I have an autoimmune disease called vasculitis, which is actually inflammation of the blood vessels, and it's quite uncommon and people around me didn't know what that disease was. So I felt quite lonely for the initial years that I was diagnosed, and actually really out of wanting to find someone else with an autoimmune disease, maybe even not vasculitis, I started the group. And even though this journey has been very long and affected my life greatly, I think I've also received a lot of kindness in return. And in 2017, I started BeKindSG because I felt that if everyone is a little bit kinder, then I think the world and life and society, will be much happier as well, and we can get along better together. So I hope that with BeKindSG we can try to get more people to accept and understand and form relationships with many people outside of their own community, and then we can all form an inclusive society. I guess one of the challenges would be getting volunteers to organize activities, because I think in the beginning probably most people will prefer to participate. I think a GAM cannot grow without the support of the volunteers stepping up to organize, because one person cannot do it alone. Yeah, but with a community of people, then I think the mission and the vision, and we can impact for example more residents of even more adult disability homes if you can have more volunteers to step up. So when the COVID pandemic first hit us, all our in-person volunteering activities had to stop. I guess then as a volunteering group, we were kind of left with no activities to do. But at the same time, because that was the beginning of a pandemic, and I began to see how everyone was very anxious and fearful, because we really didn't know what COVID-19 was about at that time. And I had this idea to pack some care packs for Tan Tock Seng Hospital and CID, and that was way in the beginning when not really anyone was thinking about the healthcare stuff at that time. And it was a very simple idea, but I didn't know that I was given 7,000 care packs to pack. And then I thought that it would be very meaningful if I can have 7,000 handcrafted thank you cards. And it was quite challenging because it started by myself, but I was very heartened because I really got a lot of support from, for example, from many different schools, about 20 schools and organizations that came in to help out with the thank you cards. And then we had company sponsor different items for the care bags, and then we had, for example, MVPC step in to gather 7,000 tote bags for the care bags. Yeah, I never thought that I would be thinking about how to get 7,000 tote bags. Yeah, so I think that was the positive thing that kind of came out, where everybody step in to do something together at that point of time for the healthcare staff. One of the challenge of COVID-19 pandemic is that prior to COVID, we actually visit and engage the residents of adult disability homes every month. We bring them for outings, we just go down to the homes to have that face-to-face interaction. But until now, so I would say it's almost going to be 2 years already, we have not been able to step inside the home, or visit them, and we've been engaging them via Zoom. But there's a lot of challenges with Zoom because we can only engage a small group of residents, and they thrive on that face-to-face interaction, the hugs, the touch. And as we continue with the Zoom session, at the end of every Zoom session, they will still ask us when are you coming back to visit us. So I think the relationship we have with them is very precious. and I just hope that one day we'll be able to go and visit them again. I hope to make even more impact, with BeKindSG, and that we can support the youth with special needs and their parents. That people carry the spirit in them. I mean, they need not necessarily volunteer with us. We just hope that they also just continue to volunteer in whatever capacity, and that anyone can make a difference. We also hope that people with autoimmune diseases are willing to maybe share their stories and shed lights on their condition, because you never know who you're going to impact, or if you share your story, who's going to find comfort in your story. I mean, I've witnessed that many times. So yeah, I really hope that people will step up to share their stories.
All of us have one thing in common, and that is 24 hours a day. If only we could open our hearts as wide as Sherry did, and make time to be kind to the people around us and to the less fortunate in our society, the world would be a better place to live in. And this is your City Joe Chris for Singapore One.